What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm gonna give you my 5 things I like about my F80 M3. So first on my list is joining a community. Joining the BMW community and joining the M community just makes this car even more enjoyable. So for example, going to different car events, talking to other owners that are like-minded, that have the same passion. There's multiple different types of owners, right? So there's ones that just buy the car, drive it stock, and then there's also owners that I get along with a little bit more, the ones that mod the car. So for example, myself, Nardo Gray, F80, you got Zubaka, Miguel Beamer, we all modifies our cars, and that's a different portion of the community, which is a little bit nicer, a little bit, I wouldn't say nicer, a little bit more interesting, so to say. So with joining the community, there's a big thing called the forums. So with the community, there's a whole bunch of forums, either on Facebook or F80 post, where you basically learn a little bit more about the car than what they can tell you at the dealership. So joining this community has ample opportunity to kind of learn more about the car, which is nice to go by, because when you first buy the car, you really don't know much about it until you kind of either dig deep into it or do your research online. So with joining the community, you join a camaraderie between many like-minded people. For example, different M owners, you share that camaraderie where you pull up to a light, you can acknowledge the other person's car and kind of like, you know, share conversations with, or even going to the car events, cars and coffee, BMW Invasion events. So it's nice that aspect of it just makes it more enjoyable to own this vehicle. And then when you have all that opportunity of having different owners and the community itself, there's a lot of various used parts you could get. So that's another plus too about owning this F80 M3. For example, my Venturi intakes, I got that used, and it was practically brand new. So I got lucky with that. Like I said, this community, there's a lot into the community. A lot of people either lease the cars, they buy the parts, they have it on the car for a little bit, and then they eventually sell it. So on the forums, on the Facebook groups, there's a lot of ample opportunity for you guys and also myself to pick up discounted price parts. All right guys, for number 2, I'm gonna take it inside. It's getting really hot. It is South Florida. It's about 92 degrees. I was basically, for the first thing I was gonna say, I was already getting drenched in sweat. So we'll take the camera inside and we'll discuss a little bit more about what I like about my F80 M3. So as we deep dive into it, number 2 on my list is gonna be, for this F80 M3 or even the F8X platform, there's so many different various modifications available for this car. You can modify this car from anywhere from your buttons on your steering wheel, your start buttons, to your turbos, and the list goes on and on. So as a person, for myself, I love modifying my car. Even the previous cars I've had, F30, I had a Subaru WRX way back in the day. I love modifying the cars. I love changing it to my specifications, the way I like to drive it. This car, it's so easy to make power. You know, with a downpipe tune, you're pushing over an excess of 550 horsepower, which is pretty insane for a 4-door sedan that's kind of considered to be a family sedan if you want. You can throw some 2 car seats back there, which I plan on doing when I do have kids, and it'll be nice. I'm gonna drive safe, so don't worry about that. But which is so good, like there's so many different parts. For example, you could go pure stage 2 turbos and really kick it up a notch, which I do plan on doing in the future. But the amount of power you get on this car is just utterly insane compared to the E9X. The E9X, you're gonna have to do a supercharger. Even with that, it doesn't really compare to what this car can do with just a, full bolt-ons and tune. So that was one aspect I like about this F80 M3. Going on to number 3 on my list would be this manual transmission. The manual transmission is always something that I loved. I always loved driving a 6-speed manual. I know I started my career of driving cars that were manual was a WRX. It was a 5-speed manual transmission. And then my previous F30 was a 6-speed manual. I always liked driving a manual transmission. As you go to different brands, some brands are discontinued their manual transmissions on certain models. There's a lot of different save the manuals kind of like movement going on, but that's what I like about this F80 M3. So more and more brands are saving on costs because they may not see a demand on providing a manual transmission for people. Still, BMW sees it as a asset to provide for the community. Another reason why I say that the manual transmission is really important to me, let's just say if I do decide to sell this car, having a manual transmission compared to a DCT, there was more DCT transmissions made for this F8X platform. The manual transmission was not as sought out as the DCTs. So with that being said, the DCT compared to the manual is going to be a little bit more valuable as we go on in time, because you're going to have less of them on the market available for sale. And with the manual transmission, it's just a different aspect of driving. Sure, I'm not the fastest one out there, but I just feel, even in traffic, going to the gears, first, second, third, I just feel more connected. And the reason why I say more connected, I just feel like it's more raw driving. I like it. I've driven a DCT a few times. I personally want to get a DCT on an E9X M3 later on in life. After I get the wedding, the house, I'll get one of those to the garage. But I do want to get a DCT on the E9X just to experience it, and also to keep it for long term too, because I feel like the V8 on the E9X is going to be a collectible item along with this F80 M3. As you hold it long term, I'm not going to be selling it anytime soon. So going on to number 4 on my list, which ties into number 5, is that this was the last year they made the F80 M3. So this is the last year they made it. In 2019, they actually had the F82, which continued the F8X platform. But this is the last year they made the 4-door version of the F8X, which is pretty cool because they developed the LCI updated headlights, which is a gorgeous headlight. With that being said, let's go into number 5, because number 4 was pretty quick, but it kind of ties into number 5. So as you can see, it's kind of raining right now, which is another reason why I took it inside the car. Which, good thing I had to leave the camera outside. As you can see and hear a little bit, it's downpouring rain, but it's still sunny. This is Florida weather. This is South Florida weather. But going into number 5 on my list is the appearance of the car. The appearance of the car is such a gorgeous looking car. A lot of people do recognize that this is a good looking car. The fenders are more pronounced on this type of car compared to the 2-door version. The rear fenders definitely bulge out a little bit more compared to the M4, in my opinion. I like it a lot more. I have the versatility of having 4 seats and a 4-door that's a little bit more roomy. And when I do have kids, like I said earlier, I'm able to put 2 car seats in the back and be able to take them in and out of the car, depending on how many kids I have. Another thing too is that this 2018 F80 M3 that goes into number 4 a little bit is that it has all the LCI updates. So LCI is life cycle impulse, which is a terminology that BMW uses when they kind of refresh some of the designs of their current models. So one of the LCI updates that the other years don't have is the Icon headlights. The Icon headlights is very sought out these days. A lot of people that do want to buy them, they're paying for a premium. You're paying in excess over $3,500, maybe $400 to $4,500 sometimes on a set of headlights. It just looks more modern looking compared to the non-LCI headlights. Another thing too is the rear taillights. The rear taillights have the LCI updates, and it has a nice shadow line in the back of the housing that kind of gives it a nice aggressive look, even in the daytime. And when you go into more of the appearance of the car, the indentation of the hood gives a nice aggressive look when you're looking at the car from the front end. Even on the side, you can kind of see the indents of the hood. And it really looks nice, it just really makes it look more aggressive. It kind of gives it a feature. Another thing too I want to mention is the carbon fiber roof. I'm so glad I opted to not get a sunroof. There's nothing wrong with the sunroof. I never really used it when I had an F30. I had a moon roof. I never really used it at all. But with the carbon fiber roof, it just gives it a unique touch to it. When somebody walks up to the car, people that are not familiar with the BMW brand, they always ask if that's a wrap. And when they're shocked that it's a carbon fiber roof, they kind of get blown away that BMW actually spent the money on producing a carbon fiber roof for this car. That's one thing I like about it, the aesthetics that kind of go with the Austin yellow with the carbon fiber. It just blends in pretty well. And going on to the appearance too is that these seats, I know I mentioned some things I don't like about the car was the interior, but these seats are a good looking pair of front seats. Even the rear kind of has that unique design that's not in a 3 Series, but if you look at these seats are actually really comfortable. You got nice side bolsters where you can kind of adjust. So going on to number 5 on my list is the appearance of the car. The car is just a gorgeous looking car. I get a lot of compliments about the color, especially when I go to car events. Even yesterday when we went to Euro Invasion at Detail Garage in Fort Lauderdale and also Detail Garage Miami, a lot of people did compliment the color. I know when I was first searching for an M3, I was telling my fiance about I was going to look for a Austin Yellow or Yas Marina. She loved the Yas Marina blue, but she hated the Austin Yellow. She was kind of upset that I was looking for this type of color. But when she saw it in person, and if you didn't know, there's 2 shades of Austin Yellow. I'm pretty sure in 2017, 2018, they changed the shade to be a little bit more lighter, a little bit more brighter. The 2015, 2016, if you look at it compared to 2018, 2017, is that the 15 and 16s are darker shade, and even in the sun, you can definitely see the difference of whatever color or whatever color code they're using. But going back into the Austin Yellow color, even yesterday when I was at the event, people were complimenting the color. It's definitely a unique color. This color is not for everybody, I will say that. It's a really loud color. This is almost, maybe they almost should have made it an individual color, but I'm glad they didn't, because I really enjoy the look of this car. And if you look at the car on a side view, the body lines that go across, and it just blends so well, where when you're looking at it, you can tell this is definitely a sports car. And all the modifications I've done to this car has made it even more aggressive, with the suspension, the BBS wheels, side skirts, the rear diffuser that ties it all in. When I didn't have the rear diffuser, it kind of really felt naked, so to say. It kind of felt really naked, because with the AWE switch path tips, it was sticking out a little bit. But once I put the Vorsteiner rear diffuser, it just tied it all in, and I'm so glad I went that route. I know a lot of people say it's a really expensive rear diffuser, but you pay for what you get. I've seen other rear diffusers where the carbon fiber is fading, or you could kind of see orange peel on the finish of it. But the carbon fiber on the Vorsteiner GTS carbon fiber rear diffuser, it just ties it all in, and it's really clean looking too. And overall, this car, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy driving it. A lot of people compare this to the E9X, and it's a different aspect, different animal. This is more of a power-hungry vehicle compared to the E9X. I do dream about purchasing an E9X one day, but priorities first: wedding, house, family, making sure all that happens, and then I'll be able to purchase one. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up. It really helps my small channel grow. And I do want to say this video was delayed from last week's video, because I want to get that video out. It was too fresh. It was a Euro Invasion, which a lot of it was dominated by BMW, so let's go. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have any questions or any other inputs of the things that you like for your F80 M3 or F82 M4, let me know in the comments. But tune in for next week. I'll have another video for you guys. And I want to thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.